Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. Sorry that we didn't post last week, but that is because our van had to go in for its WOF. Technically it's an MOT, like, you know, the same thing. Went in for its warrant of fitness and it failed. We knew it would, but it failed on a bunch of other things that we weren't prepared for. Don't worry, it is all being fixed, and that is what this video will show. The process of the reality of having a van.
Yeah. They
break or they get injured. I don't know. Rust is an injury, no?
It's called a muscle.
Yeah, so join us as we go through the painstaking process of spending all of our money getting our van fixed.
Our warrant of fitness failed on 3 things. We have rust in several places, we have an issue with the steering column, and we also have a leak in the exhaust.
We have lived in blissful ignorance of the fact that we knew we had a leak in our tyre. We were just ignoring it.
Yep, constantly refilling it.
So we knew it was going to fail. Obviously, they didn't even mention the tyre situation. So yesterday, we did take our van to a tyre place to get a free 8-point safety check, but also to have them have a look at the tyre. Safety check flagged up we needed a wheel alignment, so we got that done, but they did find what the issue was with our tyre, and it had 3 nails in it.
How that thing hasn't just gone at any point, we don't know.
No.
We have been topping it up regularly, but still. So
we have had that replaced now. So for the wheel alignment and for the tyre, it has cost us $255.
Yep.
Now today, Michael is going to be taking our van to Novus Glass, where they are going to take out our windscreen and they are going to give it to Elite, who are going to sort out the rust around the perimeter of the windscreen.
Yes.
This is an unknown quantity. We don't know how much it's going to cost. It could cost up to $1,000. It could cost more than that, or less than that. We have no idea, because they won't know until they have taken out the glass and they see the extent of the rust.
And not just that, but Novus Glass, they, depending on how the windscreen was last fitted into the van, they may have an issue getting the windscreen out. So if it smashes, which glass has a tendency to do, it could cost a few extra $100.
Yes, so we're hoping that the rust isn't too bad. We will check in with you guys when we know what's going on with it, but yeah, please all just pray for us. Yeah, please pray for us. We don't know how much it's gonna cost.
Just waiting for that dreaded phone call.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see you guys when we next know how much it's gonna be.
Bye, Lucy. Good luck.
How'd it go?
So I got a phone call while I was walking back, and it turns out that they have smashed the windscreen. They took it out today, and yes, it's smashed. So
how much is that?
Apparently they already had one on order, so they've got one there.
How much is it going to cost?
At least $500.
Well, things are going badly so far.
This last hour's been terrible.
Yeah, it's been really bad. So we hadn't heard from Elite, the guys doing our rust. So Michael called them and they're like, yeah, we're keeping your van till Wednesday. And we were like, no, you're meant to be doing it in a day. So basically, they haven't done anything to it. The window broke. It's going really badly, guys.
We went into town and the bank was shut.
And the toilets were shut.
At like 4:20.
So
we walked in the rain.
Yeah.
This last hour's been rubbish.
The plan now is that tomorrow morning we are going to head to Elite to talk to them. I also need to get I also need to get my shoes because I only have a pair of Crocs right now and I can't wear them to work and we have work tomorrow.
What are you wearing now, right?
I'm wearing bare feet. And it's raw dogging it on this pavement. So yeah, we'll check in with you all tomorrow and let you know the verdict at Elite. So it's the next day. We are almost at Elite. We are going to go and see how the vans are looking in terms of rust and also see if we can speed up this process because we cannot wait until Wednesday for our van.
And also we need things.
Yeah, and we need things from the van, which is why we're going.
That's why I'm here. I'm bag man.
So we're gonna go, we're gonna get our stuff and then we're gonna see what the hell is going on. So they've said the van should be ready for Monday, so that's good, but we still have to rejig everything around for the rest of the stuff, but that's okay. We can do that. So this is good. We're not gonna be homeless till Wednesday, just till Monday. This is good. And I got my stuff that I came for. So they have sanded all the rust off around our windscreen and they have said that they're gonna paint around it too, just to like cover it up more, the work that they've done, which is great. It wasn't as bad as he thought it was going to be, so hopefully it shouldn't cost us $1,000 like we thought it was going to. But oh yeah, thing is, after they've done that on Monday, they have to give it back to Nova's Glass to get the glass put back in it.
Right, let's update them now. We're literally right here outside Nova's Glass. Let's tell them that to expect it Monday. Yeah. Will they be done by Monday and what time?
Yeah. We finally heard back from Elite and it cost us $856 for the rust. So I think that makes the total come to $1,606, which is what we were expecting. Tomorrow we are going to be taking the van back to Auto Super Shop to get the steering bracket and the exhaust looked at and have the WOF done. Hopefully that will be the end of it. We hope. But yes, so far that's the total, but I'm gonna go pick up our van now from Nova's Glass and take it to the shops because we need some food, and we'll check in with you tomorrow as to the state of the van. But let me show you what it looks like now. Here's our baby. All brand spanking new. I took the van in to Auto Super Shop in Topor to get the last of the work done and get a WOF so that our van was just ready to go. And I got a call about an hour ago saying that unfortunately the exhaust is worse than we thought. It is just riddled with holes that's causing leaks, and that it would essentially be the same to fix that as it would be to just buy a new one. They are ordering a new exhaust and muffler. They'll get that in on about Thursday or Friday. So I'm gonna go pick up the van now so we have it, and then I'll bring it back to them on Thursday or Friday when the exhaust comes in. However, this does mean that our total is, instead of $400, is now going to be $1,100, which is gut-wrenching. Really, really disappointing that it's going to be so much money. It's just the way it goes. They said without getting the exhaust done, it won't pass the WOF. We're just going to have to pay it.
This should be it now. So I have arrived at Auto Super Shop Topor for what should be the last of our work. It is the exhaust. So yeah, they reckon another couple of hours and the van is done.
It's now been 2 weeks since we've started this whole entire process, and we are finally coming to an end of it. Thank the Lord, because I don't know how much more stress I could have handled. Yesterday we got the final part in for our van, which was the exhaust and the muffler. That was done, and they called us up at the end of the day and said we didn't have time to do your WOF, we'll keep your van until Friday, which is today, and we will get it tested then. So I'm sat waiting. Michael has gone to work and I'm sat waiting around for them to call me to say, hey, it's passed, come and get it. They call me and they're like, yeah, it's failed again. And I'm like, how? What? How has it failed? We've just paid $800 for the rust to be sorted. How has it failed on rust again? Like, this is insane. I go up to the garage and they're like, look, there's some rust up here that hasn't been fixed because the guys who fixed the rust, they did the wrong side. They did the left side instead of the right side. So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? And he's like, oh, you're gonna have to take your windscreen out again and do the rust. So I'm there, like tearing up, nearly crying, being like, I can't, we don't have time. We're meant to be leaving in 2 days. In 48 hours, we're not gonna be here. I don't have time to do it, and none of the garages are open on the weekends either. So this was like my last shot. I had to do it now. So I called up Elite and I'm like, hey, speak to him because I don't know what to tell him, but he's obviously done something wrong. You need to tell him what it is. They get on the phone and he ends up just telling the guy, look, tell her to bring it down to me. So I bring it down to him and he's standing there waiting, and bless his heart, he looks at me and he's like, are you gonna cry again? And I was like, I already have cried. I cried on the way while I drove here, and he felt so bad for me because this is the second time I've cried in this man's office. So he takes a look, he is shocked that they failed it again. So he gets his screwdriver, he gets his paint, and he just scrapes away whatever rust there is, paints over it, and then he writes a letter. And he turned around and he was like, this is an absolute joke. I can't believe they failed you again on this. Like, this is nothing. But I'm gonna paint over it anyway, and you can take it back to him. Thankfully, he didn't charge me. He painted over all of it. I took it to VTNZ. I sit there and I go, look, I need a retest done again. I need another one. Can you please do it? I even have a letter from Elite saying that they have fixed these problems. We don't know why you keep flagging them. And the guy comes out, takes a look. He doesn't even take it into the garage. He just comes out and he's like, oh yeah, your van again. So people start to recognise me now in these garages because I'm just always here trying to get my van done. And they have a look and he goes, cool, I'll go get you the sticker. And I'm just like, all this stress for like the tiniest speck of rust. The tiniest speck of rust. So, good news guys, we have got our WOF. Couldn't tell you what the total is. I'll get Michael to do all the adding up for us, but I think we've come in over budget, but under £3,000. Fingers crossed.
We have our van back. It's been a long 2 weeks. It's been painful. We're very fortunate to have been offered shelter in that time. So here is the final breakdown, bearing in mind a budget of 2,500 New Zealand dollars. The first item that we got done, the first thing was the wheel alignment and the tyre replaced, the one that had 3 nails in. That came to $255. The next thing was our new windscreen. So the old one had to be removed for the rust experts to get to the rust. We were unfortunate that our windscreen smashed, so that came to $520. The rust was probably the biggest thing that we had to handle. We were told it'd be in the hundreds, hoping for a lot less than this, but $852.15 for the rust to be cleared. The next thing was our steering column. That needed fixing. That was $355.98. And finally, we had a new exhaust fitted and muffler. This was the final part of the work required for the WOF. That came to $774.33. We also had the WOF at the beginning of all of this, which was $86.70. Bearing in mind a budget of $2,500, we ended up spending $2,844.16. That's not including any of the investments that we've made in terms of the toilet, the parts to fit the toilet to the van. We now have a legal van, a safer van for what's going to be thousands of kilometres that we're going to be driving over the next 2 months. Today is the last day that we have in Topor. Our last shift is today. So tomorrow we're back on the road, and I'd like to think that all of this pain was worth it.
Thank you all for coming on this journey of us to get this WOF, which is 2 weeks in the making. Honestly, the most stressful thing I've had to encounter for a while. I've cried twice.
Actually, Maria even got free work done.
Because I was crying again.
Yesterday, because she went back to the same place where she cried before, crying a second time.
They all just know me in the area now as the woman who comes in crying.
And for those of you that think, why isn't Michael sorting this? I have been at work.
Yeah.
That's what
This has been my responsibility.
Yeah.
But I told the guy, and I will tell you all, I don't handle stress well. Hence why I live in a van. Like, I don't do stress. So thank you all for coming. Make sure to like,
subscribe,
and turn on those notifications.
because we're here for you
every Friday.